the Alps. So, and also there was a guy who is actually an expert in the technology inside an airplane, communication, black box, orange box, everything which is going on in an airplane. And there is so much that points towards that the official story is nothing but a lie. The real reason for why this airplane crashed is because of CERN. It interfered, it did some damage to this airplane, and that's why it crashed. But in order to hide and in order not to create a public outcry, they are telling you a lie, as usual. And as I said, that the news is full of lies. They don't work for you. They work for Rockefeller, Rothschild. They work for the Bilderbergers. They're not for you. Shame on them. You can see here there's a long chemtrails here stretching over towards the Alps. It's casting a long shadow on the ground here. That is a quite thick one. You can see the shadow on this satellite image. This is insane. And here seen from space, the space station. This is Greenland, right there. This is Norway. Here I used to live once in a little country called Denmark. You can't even see it because of chemtrails. All this you see here are chemtrails. These are being built up by putting trails out, and then they are subduing them to this frequency from these so-called towers, but also from space-based transmitters that creates these distinct patterns that you are seeing so often, this kind of fishbone skeleton look-alike, or kind of like puffy clouds. And we are having here also the pattern number for what is in these tanks. There was one who was trying to convince me that these tanks are to simulate passengers on a test flight for an airplane. Now, why the hell do they have a pattern number, US pattern number, for a particulate which is being sprayed in the atmosphere? Oh, as I said in another video, they are spraying human tissue all over you, powdered human tissue, and the pattern for doing that is US741314582. Inside here is liquid humans, or powdered humans, right? Do you really believe in that? Well, and here's another example of dispersal system inside an airplane. And here was what we were talking about, the fibers, which is unfortunately creating this heinous disease called Magellan's, that is not even really science, and is not really recognized in the medical industry yet for being a disease. But nevertheless, these fibers are nanotechnology. These fibers have kind of like a brain of themselves, and they are capable of doing incredible damage to organic tissue in animals and in humans, and even in plant life. These are microscopic. And this is not my picture either. This is from somewhere on the planet, and you can clearly see we are being sprayed like we were bugs. And here's another image where we can see that we are being sprayed like bugs, exterminated, because that's really what it is. And this is one of my YouTube friends. He lives in Indiana. I can't remember his name, but he knows who I am. And only thing I can describe him is, I know he's got professional photography equipment, and I know he wears glasses, and he allowed me to use his pictures as I see fit in my video productions. And he took this very astounding pictures of how the chemtrails are being formed into what is beginning to look like clouds. And this is not my image either, but nonetheless, this is a nightmarish picture of chemtrails somewhere here in the United States. I would be quite freaked out if I saw this myself. This is like taken out of a horror movie. This is really, really a scary image. And this is also a quite scary image. And as you saw on the picture here, right here, these types of lines are exactly what I was talking about. That these lines become like this in the end. They are forming small bubbles, and they actually serve as a sunblock screen. I call it the canopy because they are so thin that you can actually see that they're no more than a few 100 feet thick, but the sunlight cannot penetrate. Not at all. Here again, clear evidence of what you want to call chemtrails if you are in denial, but it is chemtrails. And here we got one of the main goals, and that is that we should maintain the human populace at 500 million. This is the New World Orders, or the Satanist people's 10 new commandments for how this planet is supposed to be in their point of view. And these tablets here, or the Georgia Guidestones, are written in 10 different languages. It's even written in hieroglyphic, a language which is not being used anymore. It's a type of writing which have not been used for the last 3,000 years. Yet you see that on one of the sides of these stones. And you might think that the Egyptians were some great advanced smart people. Well, these pharaohs, these Egyptians, were nothing but Nephilims. They were nothing but evil, and pure evil, who had slaves they considered as what the New World Order is calling us, useless eaters. And funny enough, on this picture we see evidence of chemtrails. And this is in Georgia. And here we got a little image, this is the last one in my prelude here, that shows what a safe level of the different metals which would be safe for human health. And here we see clearly, you can pause it if you like and read it closely yourself, that we are being sprayed with metals, and it is in quantities that is intolerable. And this alone, not just what's going on politically, but in Jade Helm 15, which is really a practice of the overtaking of the American people and coming for your guns. All I can say is hold on to that gun. It might save your life and your family's life. Whatever the government, the federal government is telling you, and whatever some idiot who's obeying order in a uniform is telling you, you are allowed by the Second Amendment to defend yourself against that tyrant. And that means you are allowed to shoot to kill. And I suggest you do so when they come. They're practicing right now to come for you. And that is the real deal. They are not practicing what they are officially saying they are practicing. They're practicing in taking you down. Not only are they spraying us like bugs, not only are they poisoning us through food, but now they're gonna come like Hitler's army. They're gonna take you over. So, if you hold your life dear, if you believe in the Lord, if you have an urge to remain as a free man and fight for your country, It only takes 1% of you Americans to stop them. Only 1% of you. And they cannot defeat us. That's all it takes. 1%. And they will be, they're scared of us. Because behind every straw of grass, there is a loaded gun. So they have to do whatever they can to practice, train, and destroy us in order to come for those guns, take them away from us, so they can take us away and exterminate us as they really want to. They don't want anyone in this country to claim heritage over the United States of America. And the first ones they will come and erase would be the Native Americans. They will kill every single one of them because they are the original people of this country, and they are definitely not supposed to claim heritage of this continent, North America. That's the facts. Now, let's get over to some other facts, which is real facts. And those pictures you will see in that presentation is all pictures that I have taken with my phone. It's not a lot. I used to have thousands of them, but you know, so many pictures takes up a lot of room. So I had to be a little harsh sometimes and say, well, you know what, I'm not questioning the existence of chemtrails, so I have to let some of it go. So I let a lot of it go. But in the thing here now that I'm going to read for you, all the pictures you'll see will be my pictures, and they will be from all kinds of areas on the east side of the Rocky Mountains, from Texas to New York, from Michigan to Florida, all across. Let's see you on the other side. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we begin. This is from Paul Adams, JD, activist post, special report. Urgent alert throughout May 2013, Southern California, home of 22 million people, receives by far the most powerful daily aerosol attacks this writer has ever since learning about geoengineering issue in 2007. The sky remains whited out, and mountains 10 miles away are barely visible due to toxic chemtrail fallout. Humanity, as motivated individuals of conscience, must unite and take immediate action to save lives and nature. Everyone must be informed quickly to stop this soft-kill murder operation, which is clearly escalating. In earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it's infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. From Zbigniew Brzezinski, National Security Advisor, Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group. He's a nasty ass. He's disgusting. Geoengineering, often referred to as chemtrails, exist as a global nuisance for the primary purposes of causing severe bodily injury and premature death with malice aforethought. Geoengineering involves large aircraft constantly spraying tiny particles of aluminum, barium, amongst other harmful toxins into the air atmosphere. All the people and animals then inhale these toxins while breathing without informed consent. These toxins also poison the soil and freshwater sources. It is a well-known and documented that long-term exposure to air pollution consisting of particulate matter significantly increases the risk of dying of lung cancer and heart disease. Over many years, the danger of breathing soot-filled air is comparable to the health risk associated with long-term exposure to second-hand smoke. In 2010 alone, 1.2 million Chinese were killed by particulate air pollution, and China is standing for 25% of air pollution with the factories on this planet. America is standing for the next 25%. Yeah, and China don't have any rules, and no one is tapping them on the shoulder and saying you can't do that.